people, and welcome back. Inawara, how's your day going?
Oh, good.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Very, very good.
From now on, right? from now
Yes.
from now on, it's gonna be good.
Oh my gosh.
So here we go. Good. We were talking about the difference between weather and climate, which is ironic because it rained today, right? So the
Yes.
weather changed from the last time that we were talking till now. The weather changed. So that was kind of ironic.
Changed. Changes.
Changed. Yep. It changed. The next thing is so now, how would you say is that it's not obviously it's not, but if we were to say that
Cold.
it's right,
It's
exactly.
not cold,
Yeah,
but
but it's mais ou menos. So how would you say that?
a kind of cold.
Okay. So if you the whole sentence.
Today is kind of cold.
Very
It's
nice.
better yesterday. Then better than yesterday,
There we go.
but it's still cold.
But it's still
Just kind of cold.
yeah, so it's still not cold,
It's still not cold, yes.
but compared to yesterday, it's very good. It's kind of cold. So, perfect. Why not it's so cold? Or what does it mean if I say it's, uh, for example, it's more or less cold? Or it's because what most people say here in Brazil is something like so because they translate it as mais ou menos, right?
Ah, não, aqui em casa. Atende aí, Marli, pelo amor de Deus, não me estressa mais não, em nome de Jesus. Hoje é dia.
Oh, shit.
Because students of Willy don't says more or less or so.
They also don't say don't says.
Don't says?
They my
Não,
students
não,
don't say don't says. Remember
não
if you
entendi,
have
tá certo? Tá errado.
no because you said Willie's students don't says, right? They
Yes.
don't says more they don't say more or less or so, but they don't say don't says because remember when you have don't you have the strong verb don't that then changes the verb. So so those students when do we use says? Let's look at that real fast. When do we use the verb says?
Says,
So give me a sentence, an example sentence with the verb says.
says,
Nice.
he says something about me.
Okay. And what does that mean?
Ele fala alguma coisa sobre mim.
Okay, good. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like you weren't thinking like
No sentido de continuidade,
right.
né?
Ele tem o costume, right? He's always
Isso,
he's a jerk. He
isso.
always says
Yeah.
something about me. Good, perfect. So why is it says? Why not he say?
É... Não sei. Eu sei
Okay,
que
well,
says é quando é alguma
I'm
coisa
sorry. I'm sorry. I don't
contínua.
understand. I don't understand.
Says is about something continuing.
Right. Okay. That form
And
is something
said
continuing.
is
Uh-huh.
the past.
Said is the past. That's true, which isn't the case here. So, and the thing to remember is that it's more important that you know how to say it than you know why. Right? That's more important. I would prefer that you say it correctly and not know why than say it wrong but know how it's supposed to be. So
Okay.
if the reason that we have say is the same reason that if I say something about you, why is it says here and why is it say here?
Porque I say, he says.
Good. Okay. Right. And that's
Just
correct.
kidding.
It's just like in Portuguese, right? So in Portuguese we have eu falo, eu digo, ele fala, ele diz. Okay. So it's just the conjugation. So when do we use says? In what situations?
When is continuing and with he, she, it.
Exactly. When it's something, and remember the three situations. So something that's a habit or a custom, something that is permanent, or something that's repeated. So if it's one of those three situations, then we're going to use the simple present, which is the situation that you presented, which was the person, he, then saying something about you. He says something about you, and it's the idea that it's something that's repeated. It's something that he always does. Good. So, what happens if we change that to say that it's something that isn't happening? What would be the negative form of this?
He doesn't say saying
Oh,
something about
se tiver
se
ing,
he does it saying. Eu tentei falar, mas eu não consegui. É o ing com o ing.
right? But if it's ing, se tiver ing, tem que ter
To be.
to be. But what does he isn't saying something? What does that mean?
Ele não está falando.
Não está falando. Is that what we want to say? But what does não está falando? What does that mean? What situations do we use não está falando?
Now.
Now, exactly. Either now or temporary. But you told me that he always says something.
Yes.
So it can't be ing with to be.
Mas põe a frase que eu falei aí. The students of the Willy
Okay,
doesn't.
okay. But
The,
first we need to fix. Remember that Willie
Willy, não
is
tem o the.
right.
Willy's students don't. Eu falei doesn't.
Okay, but
Eu falei doesn't.
don't.
Mas falei don't use.
No, you didn't say that. You said don't. Says.
Don't use. Agora eu tô corrigindo.
Okay. Don't use.
Willy's students don't use this one in.
Well, just to make it shorter, don't use so. Right?
So.
Okay, now you screwed up
Never.
my whole plan.
Never.
But
Never.
okay, so can you say don't never use?
Never use.
Is that correct?
Yes.
No.
Don't never. No.
Why not? Because remember, don't is negative, never is negative. So you can say don't ever, or you can take these two and use never.
É só um N.
Exactly, because remember, the way that we have never
Never say never.
is, yeah, good, is negative. Wherever we use in negative sentences, but it's considered positive in those situations.
Nice.
Okay, but let's go back because I had this whole plan that you screwed up. That was when you said he doesn't, or, oops, no, that's what I'm working on. So he doesn't, but it was, what you said was, Willie's students, oh boy.
Eu poderia colocar então só Will's students never use so.
Yep. Because don't ever is the same as never. What you
Nossa.
can't do is have don't as a negative with never as a negative.
Nice.
So what you said was Willie's students never says.
Isso, foi isso que eu falei.
How would you say foi isso que eu falei?
É... Oh my god. I talked.
I said.
I said. Talked é quando você. Enfim.
It's like a conversation. I
Yes.
talked to you.
Yes. Eu sei e não sei explicar, entendeu?
That's okay. It's okay. But it makes it even clearer if you're able to explain it. So you said, now I forgot what it was you were going to describe.
I said he doesn't says he não.
No,
Enfim.
Willie's students
Yeah.
never.
Doesn't says so. Agora
so
vamos corrigir.
Doesn't says. Okay.
Foi o que eu falei primeiro, né? Pra gente corrigir.
Yeah. So if we say use or say, right? So it could be nunca usam ou nunca dizem. Okay, so looking at this example, the reason that I was going back to this is because if we say he says something about me and we turn that into the negative, then it's he doesn't what?
He doesn't says.
Okay,
So.
and remember our rule. How many S's in the sentence when it's third person singular? How many do we use? Do we use 2 S's in the third person singular?
No.
No. So which S are we going to remove?
Do says.
The says, because it's always the auxiliary verb that is going to have the S. And if the auxiliary verb has the S, then we'll never put it on the weak verb. Now, let's finish that sentence, because if he says something about me, and then he doesn't say, he doesn't say something? Will it be the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah?
He doesn't say something.
So how would you say, eu não sei de nada?
I don't know anything.
But you said something. It's not, I don't know something?
No.
No. So he doesn't say
Anything.
anything because of that negative, right? Because of that negative, we're not going to use something. So he doesn't say anything, and then we can use the same thing about me. But the key here is that even though it's third person singular, I'm going to use say because do, because of the third person singular, the do changes to does or doesn't. How would you ask me if he says something about you?
Perguntar pra você se ele falou alguma coisa sobre mim.
Não falou, se ele fala.
Se ele fala, tudo bom? Does he say anything about me?
That's it. Perfect. Very good.
Tem. Vai ser raro.
So in that case, then it's just do becomes does, and we don't change say to says. So that's why Willie Students doesn't,
Say.
but it's not doesn't, right? Because it's not third person singular. So what if I want to say this sentence? Willie's, instead of Willie's Students doesn't says so, what would that sentence be? I'll help. Willie's Students. That's a lot of help.
Never say so.
Never. Okay, but let's take out never. Let's just use não dizem. Não falam.
Tá. Doesn't say.
When do we use doesn't?
Quando tá negando.
Negando em quais situações? You told me we use it in 3 situations. With it and what? What else?
He. Não. He, she, it.
He, she, it. Is this he,
E
she,
aí
it?
é they.
Ah.
Aí é they.
It's they. I agree 100%. So is it Willie's Students doesn't?
No.
No. Willie's Students?
Isn't.
Whoa.
Não.
Aí foi longe. Isn't it?
No,
What is
no.
what is isn't?
No,
Não
no,
estão,
no.
não são, right?
Sim.
So remember, we only have 2 choices. If we're going to use the auxiliary verb, there are only 2 choices. It's either does or doesn't, or what? Do or don't. Those are the only 2 choices when we have weak verbs like say.
Eu sempre faço confusão com isso, impressionante.
Okay? But the thing to remember, to clarify it, the thing to remember is that every situation is going to be do or don't, except for he, she, it. Those are the only situations where we use does and doesn't. So he doesn't say, she doesn't say, it doesn't say. Or does he say? Does she say? Does it say? Everything else is don't, including my students, Willie's students. So the thing to remember about the students is that it is based on the whatever the pronoun would be. So for Willie students, what would the pronoun be?
Don't say.
Okay, don't say. Good. What's the pronoun? Remember a pronoun?
They.
They. And because, so they isn't he, isn't she, isn't it. So then that helps us to know that it's going to be say. Just like that.
Pronto. Pelo menos foi uma boa resposta.
Yes, it's a
Se
good.
se
No, it's a
tivesse
very good.
correto.
It's a very good. It's a very good answer because we use, like we were talking about. Actually, let me share that again. So what we use in these situations is
Kind of.
kind of, and we also have another one. Do you remember the other one that is also very informal?
No. Sort of. Cold.
But there's
Sort of
also,
cold.
but this is not the way that you will hear a native speaker say it.
Sort of cold.
How is it that native speakers say this? Do you remember?
No.
Kinda.
Kinda.
Just like remember wanna, gonna, those reductions, instead of saying kind of, most native speakers will say it's kind of cold. And the same thing happens with sort of. It's sort of cold.
Sorta. Kinda. Sorta. Acho que ainda é mais fácil. Sorta cold. Sorta. Agora eu lembrei.
Good. Good, good. Okay. The other thing with this is it's so cold is 100% wrong. 100% wrong.
Depois que você me ensinou isso, todas as pessoas que falam sou, eu fico, tipo, julgando. Não. Deus não dá asa a cobras.
It's my fault. But it's more or less cold is actually grammatically correct. But it's more formal. It's not as common. The problem with so and more or less, the real problem is not when we're talking about describing something using an adjective like I'm kind of tired, right? Or saying I'm more or less tired. More or less sounds much more formal to me. I'm so tired, then that's terrible. But the even bigger problem than those situations are when we're talking about greetings. What are greetings? Do you remember? Greetings? What greetings means?
No.
Greetings are
cumprimentos.
Is it co or
cumprimentos? Não, eu
Okay.
acho. Oxi.
Some of these
Não,
things
acho que é com
because
O.
there are two
Acho que é com O
words
mesmo. Cumprimentos. Sim, é cumprimentos.
that
Ixi,
go
eu não-
together. Complementos.
Cumprimentos, cumprimentos. Acho que. É porque
Where-
toda vez que escreve eu acho que é ele.
Yeah, me too.
Cumprimentos.
So I put it in Google
cumprimentos.
Translate, and Google Translate says saudações.
É cumprimentos.
With it-
Cumprimentos se refere a saudações e elogios, isso mesmo.
With a U or no?
U.
That's what I thought. I was right. I always do that. I have it right, and then I doubt myself, and I I correct it incorrectly. Okay. So greetings are cumprimentos. So how are you? This is where the
I'm
problem is. If someone says I'm so, it's terrible. And there are teachers that are like, oh, sometimes it's just a difference of regions or countries, or it's just because it's American English or blah blah blah. But I have never seen this in any form of English. So exists, but it's more to describe something. That's like if you're describing a party, or if you're describing a meeting, or if you're describing something like that, it exists, but it's still not very common. So if you ask, for example, how was the party? In that case, you could say it was so. But we don't usually use it if someone asks how we are. It sounds like someone who learned English in another country. And the ironic thing with this is that we use more or less. If I say I'm more or less tired, or whatever the case may be, we do use more or less. We don't use I'm, or for example, it was a, no, I'm so tired, for example, you would never say. But you would never say I'm more or less. Because more or less needs to have something here. I'm more or less tired. I'm more or less busy. But even then, like I said, it's formal. It's too formal, I would say, for every day. And that's where kind of and sort of come into the situation. Kind of and sort of, when we have these things that we're describing, that's what we use. And when we want to say how we are, if someone asks, how are you? Instead of saying, I'm so, what do we say? If I want to say estou mais ou
I'm good.
menos. Okay, if you're good, but if you're mais ou menos.
Então, mas dependendo da entonação, é um good mais ou menos.
Yeah,
Não
no,
é
it's
isso?
possible. You could say, I'm good, right? But
Yes.
that's not as common for mais ou menos.
I'm okay.
Yes. I'm okay with the intonation like you're talking about. You're absolutely right. The intonation is very important in order to change it, because there are probably 15 to 20% of the time be like, I'm okay, right? And the intonation says, right, estou bem. But the majority of the situations, if someone asks another person, how are you? If they want to say mais ou menos, they'll be like, I'm okay. I'm okay. And it just means
Okay.
normal. Dia qualquer. Tô mais ou menos. It's fine. And that's the other thing. That's the other problem with I'm fine. We use in the same kind of way. We usually don't use I'm fine in greetings to say estou bem. It means estou mais ou menos na grande maioria das situações. I'm fine. Right? I'm fine can be either I'm okay, I'm mais ou menos, or it can be não estou bem e não quero falar a respeito. So ask me how I am.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Right? Do you think I'm good?
Tapa na cara logo.
Right? If I say that,
Não.
it's pretty obvious that I'm not fine, but I also don't really want to talk about it. It's the
Aham.
same kind of thing that happens, for example, if you, what is to trip? Do you remember to trip?
É tropeçar.
Yes, good. So if you trip and I'm like, hey, Enawada, are you okay? And you are embarrassed, what is embarrassed?
Não sei.
Embarrassed is constrangida,
Não é. Ah, isso.
right? So you trip and you're embarrassed, and I'm like, hey, Enawada, are you okay? You're like, I'm fine, I'm fine, right?
Uhum.
Maybe you aren't fine. You could be okay. You might not be. Maybe you hurt yourself, but you're so embarrassed that you're like, me deixa em paz, me deixa aqui. Não fale comigo, tô
Deixa eu passar
constrangido.
minha vergonha sozinha.
Exactly. And so that's how we use it's another way that we can use I'm fine. So it's there are some situations where we use fine to say bang, but it's not very common that they happen when we are saying hi or how are you or whatever in those situations. So good talking about kind of and sort of or kinda and sorta. And the interesting thing with these two words too is that we have a saying that is kind of sorta. So if you ask me how things are going, for example, or you can you could say something like, are things going well? I could be like, kind of sorta, right? So yeah, mais ou menos, tão indo, kind of sorta. But
Ainda
again, it's
tem
not.
isso.
Yeah,
Essa
but again,
novidade.
but again, it's not a greeting. You wouldn't say how are you, and I would say kind of sorta. It's the same problem as so or more or less.
Entendi.
But you could say if you're talking about the way that things are happening, it's more of an adverb to describe how things are going, or then it would be more kind of sort of in that kind of situation. So let's read
Kinda.
through kind of and sort of.
Used when something is close without being exact.
Good. Yeah.
Yes. He's kind of jealous.
Jealous.
Jealous. Jealous is what?
Jealous. Inveja, jealousy, or ciumento. So invejoso or ciumento.
Ah, tá. Jealous. That they have become such good friends. He's not exactly jealous, just a bit.
Okay, so do you understand that whole?
Ele é mais ou menos.
And here,
É...
the way that I like to translate kind of and sort of to help know when to use it is I like to translate it as meio.
Ah,
Because you don't say, for
ele é.
example, how are you? And you say meio. And that's what it sounds like if you say more or less, or if you say kind of or sort of as a greeting, it's like saying, eu estou meio.
Uhum. Então aí seria meio ciumento.
Mm-hmm.
Ele é meio ciumento. Have become such. I don't know, such.
Such is
Such.
so such is this is very similar to so. When remember the meanings of so,
É intensidade.
and that's the one, right? Intensidade, tão tanto. So
Aham.
such good friends seriam amigos
Tão bons amigos?
Exactly.
Tão bons amigos. They, that they have become. Ai,
To become. Se tornar.
vindo.
Yeah,
Se
come,
tornar.
come é vir. Become é se tornar.
Então, ele é meio ciumento. Agora, that they have. Me ajuda aí.
So this that in the middle of the sentence most of the time
Que?
will yeah. Uh-huh.
Ah, estava na dúvida.
Yep. That's good.
Que tem se tornado tão bons amigos.
Yeah. Because remember, in what form is they have become? What verb form is that?
Eu não vou lembrar o nome, mas é o tem se tornado, tem com have, né? É o
Present perfect.
bom dia. Present perfect.
But it's more, again, it's more important to know how to use it than to know its name. So as long as you can remember how it's used, that's much more important, because we don't say like, so even he's kind of jealous, we wouldn't say ele é meio ciumento, seria ele tem pouco de ciúmes, right? But that's not how we form it in English. Aí seria que eles se tornaram. No, we don't say tem se tornado, but that's how we say it in English. Because of that whole thing of present perfect, of something from the past until now, because they're still good friends. They're still in that process, so that's why we use present perfect.
And just a bit.
Good, just a bit. A bit
Just a
is the
bit.
same as a little. In fact, we have a little, and we have a bit, and we have a little bit, which is also very common. They all pretty much mean um pouquinho. Um pouco ou
Entendi.
pouquinho.
Entendi. Seria o mesmo que a little bit.
A little bit, or just even here where it says he's not exactly jealous, just a little. It could be just a little. It's the same thing as just a bit.
Just a bit. Nice. Não tinha escutado ainda just a bit. And they
the funny thing is, the funny thing is that I don't teach bit because Brazilians like to put that strong T, and if you put a strong T, if you carry that
Bitch.
T, so if you say what does a little bitch mean? We're not going to say it, but you can imagine what a little bitch means. So I prefer I prefer a little instead of using. Now you said it perfectly.
Falando a little bit.
Right? So but you said it perfectly, so you're fine, but I usually don't teach that word as far as using it to say a little.
Ai, Deus. They've spent the whole year sort of
whole
year sort of traveling around the world. No plane to travel, more like wandering. What is this? Wandering.
Wandering, if I'm not mistaken, is like vagabundeando. How do you say that?
Oh my God.
Let me double check that. Vagando. Eu queria dizer vagabundeando.
Vagando. bem parecida mesmo.
Yeah, depending on what you mean by vagabundo. Yes. So that's what it is to wander.
They've spent a while year sort of driving
They've
around.
spent the what?
Spent the whole, sorry.
It's okay.
É, eles têm esperado alguma coisa que eu
No.
não
To
sei.
what is to
Não,
spend?
spent, não sei.
Spend
Chutei.
é gastar, passar tempo. So
Ah,
spend can be used with gastar, like gastar tempo, gastar dinheiro, or usar tempo, usar dinheiro.
fazer, gastar,
And here I would even say passar because it's
passar
time. Because
todo
sometimes.
o ano,
Mm-hmm.
todo o ano, um pouco
But remember,
viajando.
remember better than un poco. What's the better translation of kind of and sort of than un poco?
Não, não é. Não, mas
Meio viajando.
é verdade. Meio viajando em volta do mundo, pelo mundo.
Yep.
Meio viajando pelo mundo. Entendi. É que essa frase não faz muito sentido, eu acho, em português.
Yeah.
Meio viajando pelo mundo. Passar o ano todo.
Because they didn't have a plan, right? They didn't have a plan to travel, but they ended up acabaram viajando.
Entendi.
But I agree with you. I'm going to change the sentence because I don't like it. But
Mais ou menos.
yeah, yeah. It's sort of dumb. This sentence is sort of dumb.
Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of dumb.
Nice. Nice.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, teacher.
Thank you. See you next week.
Next week. Yes.
All right. And thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank
See you
you.
next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.